Good evening, folks. This is Matthew Thomas. It's exciting to have you with us tonight. Mike and Josh will be your folks on camera and on mic for the night, getting them started until they can get here, coming from other games. It is a beautiful night, as we like to say here on DMV Sports, to play soccer. Slightly chilly, everybody's in jackets. Perfect soccer weather, great weather to play in. Type of weather you feel like you can run in all day. So folks, we're excited that you're with us. Game will be getting started here shortly. We have Blazers FC against Arlington SA. Arlington has clinched a spot in the playoffs, needs a win tonight to secure the second berth in the playoffs, which gives them the coveted bye. The Blazers are outside the playoff picture for this season, but looking to build. The coach was not able to make it, so their coach Bruce is stepping in for us tonight. Bruce is a coveted player in the area, owns his own team, fantastic player, does a great job as the cameraman for DMV Sports. So we're in good hands tonight. Should be a good game. Have a high level referee crew with Ray J in the center, Tim L and Pablo S running the lines for us tonight as our ARs 1 and AR 2. High level, highly respected crew. So we're looking forward to a great night. Should be a good game. I think it's going to be determined here kind of early on how our night's going to go. So we'll find out in the first 5 minutes whether Arlington's going to really put the foot on the gas and take the lead, whether Blazers can hang with them and stay tight for the night. So folks, just a couple seconds, a couple minutes here, and we will get going. All right, folks, we are now just seconds from kickoff. You can see beautiful night. We are here at beautiful Annandale High School. Again, not hard to notice that they just put in new turf this year, bright green turf. We have noticed that the newer turfs do have some bounce, a little extra bounce to them. We have Josh with us on camera tonight. Josh, good to have you with us.
Thank you, Matthew. It's great to hear you on the mic.
Excited to be here. All right, Arlington's got the kick. Folks, we'll give you some pregame details here in a little bit, some things that happen, and we've got some goals that are a little wonky and potentially over the line, could create some interesting situations. But both sides and the referee crew all elected to play after a few phone calls with some important folks. And here we go. So Arlington has possession early on. We'll see what they choose to do. Under Coach Phil, they are very much an attacking team. They are not the team to just sit back and knock it around. They will knock it around and then they go. We find normally in about 4 or 5 passes they want to go. So they're just kind of feeling things out right now. Again, this is the Blazers team. Coach isn't here. They're missing some starters. Noah Walker has signed on with them. Would have been the goalkeeper tonight. Could not get the transfer approved through the UPSL in time. And there's the long ball that we were talking about. And Arlington's off. Looks like we're going to have a break. It's got it down and up and good for 3 points, Commander style. Doesn't count for anything here tonight, folks. But got a good foot on that one. Laced it right over the top. Blazers do not have their normal keeper or even their second one that we just mentioned in Noah Walker. So we'll see what this gentleman can do, but it looks like he's ready to go. We watched him in warm-ups working hard. Plays a nice ball on his first goal kick of the night. Headed on. Blazers looking for their chance with that. Almost the same through ball we just saw Arlington play. Did not get through. Arlington's playing. Again, for Arlington, this game does matter, securing that second spot in the playoffs. So they need, I believe they just need 1 point for tonight. So they're definitely going to try to get on the board here early and attack. Here we go. It's coming back across the middle. Well deflected out by the Blazers for a throw in for Arlington deep in Blazers territory. This Arlington team had lost several players to go for trials in Germany. Michael Luchlake being one of them. Both gentlemen showed really well. We're not able to get connected. So we see Luch there on the sideline. Arlington will definitely welcome the two of them back. Him and I believe Adrian was the other one. But Coach Phil would have been more than excited to say goodbye to them and have them sign on the pro contracts in his native Germany. But not quite to be, but great players. Michael Luchlake does play for Baltimore Arsenal in MASL 2, which is the feeder program to the Baltimore Blast, so a chance to possibly get some minutes with the Blast this year. We'll see how that looks for Luch, but certainly has earned it. Fantastic player if you're familiar with our big-haired friend. Here we have Arlington again in possession. Boy, we're just a few minutes in.
Starts time or no, you're good, you're good.
And possession's been about 99% for Arlington. And there's their pattern. 3 or 4 passes knocked around and then playing a ball diagonal in attacking mode. Keeper for Blazers does a nice job. It goes up a little bit more than out. Arlington wins it back and back into possession. Plays it all the way back to Mert. Very much part of their style, using their keepers. Coach Phil greatly values keepers that are good with their feet. In a league this year struggling with keepers, Arsenal has the blessing of riches. They have 4 gentlemen that have started UPSL matches on their roster. Arlington is back in the attack. Looks like we're going to have a foul coming out. Blazers defender pushing them back. So Mert, who has been the main starter for Arlington, is in. We were told the second half might go to Austin Geyer. He's been on the roster and has started for several other UPSL and MSSL teams out of Maryland. Has not been able to get many minutes on the field this year with 4 starters, and Coach Phil being very loyal to his main starter. So we will see if Geyer can get a little bit of time tonight. But Mert has done an excellent job. I think Mert's probably just working on a little bit of rebound control. Has been about the only thing that he's struggled with this year. A couple unfortunate situations where he made some nice saves and the rebound unluckily went right back to the shooter or right to another shooter. Last week they were talking on air what a great job he does on one-on-ones shortly after he made the save, and then it did deflect back and ended up in a 1-1 result with Alexandria Reds, which knocked them out of the playoff race for the first time in 4 seasons. So we will see what Mert's performance looks like. Arlington up over the top, flag stays down. It will go out for a goal kick to Blazers. Josh, I don't think we could ask for a much better night to play soccer than tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a little chilly, but once you get out there, you're not feeling any of this really. You know, all the adrenaline and everything getting behind your legs. It starts to feel a little nice having a bit of chill out there, running around so much. But yeah, like you said, couldn't be any better.
For those of us up in metal bleachers, we're in hoodies and gloves, but player on the field running around in their shorts and underarm underneath probably feels fantastic. All right, Blazers with a little bit of possession here. First time they've put together 4 or 5 passes. Nice little play through the midfield. Foul call on Arlington. Number 10 there for Blazers did an excellent job. Folks, we apologize. We're not able to get rosters. But we will look to keep you informed on what's going on and who's doing it. So Blazers first chance, deep in, play that to Mert. Easily collects that overhead. Quickly, oh, nice throw. That's a 40-yard throw. Mert just put on the money right to his defender's feet. And then backing over Arlington style. Okay, so he's looking, head up. Looking for a chance to attack. Definitely the Arlington way. When you see a defender on the ball with no opposing attackers pressing, then you know he has time with the head up to look deep, and that's exactly what he does over the top. We have runner coming on. He's got 2 runners in the box, plays it across. There it is. Oh, and we have a goal. Less than 5 minutes in. Folks, we said the first 5 minutes would give us an indication of what we were looking at, or what we're looking at so far is an Arlington team that just really feels no pressure, knocking around the back, but with plenty of time and space, head up. And right as we said that, bang, the ball goes over the top. They've got a couple forwards with great pace up front. The first one went for naught over the bar. That one, ball played across. Maybe a little hard and high. Josh, that's an excellent finish, about waist high for the forward on the backside.
I mean, absolutely. I think what they do with those center backs is they just go back and forth trying to bait the press, trying to get you to dive in, create a little bit of space in the midfield. And they're like, all right, if you're not going to dive in, we can play right over the top, just like they did.
There's an informed cameraman you're listening to there, folks. Josh, I wholeheartedly agree. And with all the space they have, they've got time, head up. These are players, skilled players. I mean, they're playing 40, 50-yard diagonal balls on rope, right where they want them to go. No extra fluff on them, so it doesn't take an extra bounce. A lot of them have the backspin, so once they hit, they die. And it's exactly what we see now. Blazers are taking a very, very low line of pressure. You could argue it's a midline, not going in closer to about 30 yards, not quite the midfield super low line, but just giving Arlington. Blazers are trying to pack it in the back a little bit. Looks like they're in a 4-5-1. Ball played across. Oh, an excellent ball. Tries to kind of run and flick. Almost pulled it off. Does go for a throw. So as we said, the first 5 minutes were determined, and now we think the next goal could be the key to the whole night. Arlington goes up 2 and keeps the pressure on. It's going to be a tough night for Blazers chasing. If Blazers can somehow, Josh, eke out a goal here, earned or otherwise, then I think it changes the whole feel of the night.
Yeah, I mean, get a couple on the counterattack, a couple chances. Set pieces, obviously, if you're not going to have too much of possession, you know, hit from a set piece or so. But, yeah, if you can stop the ball playing from the center backs there of Arlington, you know, maybe you could get a bit of your own long ball play going. But right now it seems like they can't really get anything going so far. Arlington are really dominating possession.
But again, Josh, right as you said that, really played true. Blazers put some pressure. Backs were not able to get it out. But now they play out, but a little bit more under pressure. And instead of that ball being uncontested, Blazers were able to win it back, get a little bit of possession through the midfield. Oh, nice step by Arlington. Blazers are fighting hard here early on. You see the physicality of this game. Looking for the skip pass here, it gets it. A little too hard, too straight. Goes out for a throw to Blazers. One of the only times that they've been in Arlington territory tonight. I think your free kick is something to definitely watch for. Blazers had one and they played a pretty easy long ball into Mert. So if they can get one or two and make something happen off of that, that's going to be their best opportunity, and that's going to be their chance to shake things up. Otherwise, I think they're just looking at a whole lot of Arlington pressure, and eventually you tend to break down when you're just trying to hold it off all night. Here we go. Arlington looks to play down the line. Gets some into the speed. Nice ball played forward. Can he get a foot on before the keeper comes? Oh, keeper makes an excellent tackle sliding over. There's no call. Defender definitely got ball there. We have a defender forward down. Unfortunately, boy, that would be a tough injury if that's something that leads into the playoffs. But as a longtime center defender, what a beautiful play. What a great tackle.
I mean, yeah, especially for a keeper, that's definitely risky there. Like having to come out in the first place and having to meet the man and or meet the ball and not foul him at the same time is very impressive from the keeper, like you said.
Yeah, you know, we teach keepers you go in hands first, never feet first if you can avoid it. But in that case, don't really think he had a choice and was able to get a solid foot but get it on the ball. I think it was the pressure of the ball back against the forward. That's one that's certainly at the youth level gets argued, and parents and coaches see players go down injured and want to argue that there was something malicious in cards, and we're with the no call on that. Again, we have a high-level experienced center referee in Ray J. You know, give out last names here. Too many people don't like officials. But Mr. J, well respected in the area, high level, does some assigning and assessing himself, and was right there to make the call. And Tim L over here on the sideline, high level ref himself, agreed with the no call. So we're back in action. Blazers looking to get a little possession, not able to maintain it. Arlington's looking to knock it around. Here we go, not going all the way back to the center backs, bypassing the center backs, going outside. Oh, a little bit of a miscommunication. Boy, I think it was a great ball. Forward acknowledged that he should have made that run sooner. I don't think he spotted what was open there. Our outside flank forward had a chance to make a run, thought the ball was going to be played to his feet, so he hung back a little bit, and the ball went all the way through, and then he acknowledged to his own defender that it was a fantastic ball played with a big thumbs up. Okay, Blazers get a deflection. They've got some numbers. They've got some pace. Main's in the lead. Oh, well defended by Arlington. Boy, our big guy in the back gets a foot on it. Just an excellent piece of defending. I thought he was through. Was looking forward to see what was going to happen with Mert in a one-on-one, as we talked about, an area where he really is strong. And the flank midfielder came back and got a foot, and not only won the ball, but was able to keep it, turn it, and keep possession. However, Arlington did lose it, so Blazers back. And right as we say that, they knock it out of bounds. Back for some Arlington possession. Little shake and bake and wiggle and jiggle on the outside. Keep the ball. And here we go, Josh. Playing it around the back with time and pressure. Heads up, looking for something. Blazers team really depleted, down several starters, only a couple guys on the bench. Don't think that they want to play a high-impact pressing game tonight. I think by the 60th minute they would really pretty much figure out that wasn't the best idea.
Yeah, it's going to be very tiring to try to keep up with the Arlington side.
Here they are in the attack, looking for that diagonal ball. A little hard, not quite possessed as they would have liked. Play back to the keeper, see what he does. Little moment of panic, but was able to get rid of it in time and get to his defender. Oh, nice flick there by the Blazers. We have a 1-on-2 with a forward with some pace there. Mert's able to get a nice touch back to the center defender, and we're in reset mode. Kind of feeling like rinse and repeat at the moment. Mert's taking his time. Attract pressure to create space is what coaches teach from a young age, young level. Mert sucked in a couple defenders, made a pass. Was won by the Blazers. Arlington back in, and there's that signature diagonal ball from them. Oh, Blazers defender really made a nice play. Not only was able to knock it out, but knock it off the Arlington forward's foot in the process and out of play. Throw in deflected off of Arlington. Blazers with another throw. Definitely has that feeling in that NFL game where the one team just can't seem to get into the offensive half very often. Blazers looking for any chance to cross midfield with possession. They've only seen 2 or 3 opportunities so far tonight. Do not have a shot on goal recorded as of yet. Arlington really only has the 1 shot on goal recorded, and it's one that went in the goal. Ball played over the top. Flag does go up that time. Blazers played in the midfield just a little high, a little far for his target. Arlington wins it back with their relentless pressure. Those of you familiar with teams in the area, Arlington plays a very similar high-level, high-speed pressure to Steel Pulse from Maryland, a very high-level, coveted team that's moving on in the U.S. Open Cup Series. Had an excellent win over the Maryland Bobcats reserve squad a couple weeks ago. And that pressure is resulting in another shot and the cross. That's one he would like back, just a little high. But the outside midfielder for Arlington is able to corral it all the way over in the far sideline. Couple passes, some possession here. Arlington has such a great compromise between playing possession but looking to attack. They can be patient when they need to be, Josh.
Yep.
But then, like we said, it seems like they never go more than about 5 or 6 passes and then something diagonal into a dangerous area.
It's like a machine. They know exactly what to do, where to be. When I'm in this position, I make this pass. They just know, oh, someone's going to be out on that diagonal. They're going to be wide. I can make that ball.
Definitely. Yeah, sorry.
I apologize. Just real proof to the pudding of Coach Phillip, like you were saying.
Yeah, no, thank you. I didn't mean to catch off, and that's my point. Exactly what I was thinking. Coach Phillip is the only UEFA A licensed coach in the UPSL South Division, DMV South. Some excellent coaches in, CJ Walker and Matt Curtin from Alexandria and Virginia Dream, respectively. But Coach Phillip has a great pedigree and some excellent coaching and training. There are many coaches with USSF A and B license, but a UEFA A license is a very coveted, respected license here in the United States.
Yeah, I know even in just like real life right now, it's been very difficult, at least in England, to get your UEFA badges. And it's been a real point of conversation that to get even into the classes, to get the badges, you need to be affiliated with a team. And it's like, how do I get affiliated with a team if I don't have the license?
Yep, it's the old contrast of need experience to get a job, need a job to get experience.
Yep.
UEFA prides themselves on not giving away badges easily, but sometimes the process is maybe more stringent than it should be. Here in the U.S., we have 2 avenues for badges. We have USSF that gives out badges by letter, A being the highest. The C, B, and A are all week-long classes. Will cost participants over $2,000 to get. And then a second organization, formerly known as National Soccer Coaches Association of America, the NSCAA, is now the USC, United Soccer Coaches. We'll come back to that. So we have a late challenge, a little high boot there on the ankle, Arlington player down. Of course, players calling for a card. Seemingly in the UPSL, if somebody sneezes or gets a nosebleed, somebody wants a yellow card for it somewhere.
Yeah, really seeing the other side of the coin here, like watching games versus playing. Because playing, yes, I was just as, if we were to call it bad, but like talking to the referees, being a little rude when we don't have to be, asking for excessive cards. It is a very hard job for these referees out here.
That's for sure. As a referee, one of the things that cracks me up that very few coaches and players know is that excessively asking for a card is reason to give a card.
Yep.
And you tell coaches that and they look at you like you have 3 heads, and then you hand them the card and you hear all kind of words in various languages. As a referee, I've learned cuss words in about 3 or 4 different languages and know what's being said and when. Okay, we'll get back to our action here, folks. Ball's being knocked around. Arlington player is back up on his feet. Looks like he's doing all right. Took a pretty good shot. Deflection off an Arlington face. Almost going for a breakaway for them. Again, folks, I want you to see that this is a Blazers team there in the bottom of this division, and yet even depleted in the last game of the season, that means nothing for them. They're playing hard and showing some really excellent skill through the midfield. Unfortunately, they're up against the buzzsaw of a team in this Arlington team, where the game does matter to them. All right, we have a late challenge going the other way. Blazers players asking for that coveted card, Josh. Referees will tell you, be careful what cards you give early in a game. If you give a card in the first 5 minutes, then everything that happens for the next 85 that is equivalent, you have to give a card. And then all of a sudden you have a card fest, and you've got players leaving like crazy and really can create some unnecessary drama. If the foul warrants it early on, you give it, but refs are very slow to give too many cards early in the game for that reason.
Yeah, you have to set the precedent at the start of the match what a yellow is going to be this match.
That's well put, absolutely. Got a little banging going on. That call is going to go against the Blazers. They're not in agreement, but both players there in the midfield for both teams were kind of knocking heads and knocking shoulders a little bit. All right, rinse and repeat. Back to our center defenders, knocking it around. You're hearing one more round yelled. See if they knock it. Nope, they go for it. Try a little bit of a futsal flick there. This Arlington club is one of the most respected for futsal in the region, having teams that continually compete for regional and national championships at the youth and adult level. They have a fantastic women's pro team associated with this club. Now they're here in the attack on the outside. Plays it back, hits it across. Oh! Wasn't so much a shot as it was a pass to an attacking player in the back post, which he had. Blazers sniffed that out well. There's that chance, Josh.
Yep.
That was one of their few. It's a tough night when you have to convert every chance. But I think that was one of their best chances. They were going to be in a one-on-one situation with their forward with arguably the best pace on the team or among it. and a chance to go one-on-one with the defender and through to Mert, and I think he just got a little too excited and overran it.
Yeah, it's definitely a little hard taking that touch as you're running and the ball is still going forward, but like you're saying, it's not gonna be a great lion's share chances for the Blazers tonight, and they really have to grab whatever is there to be grabbed at.
Yeah, again, well said. Lion's share of possession and chances truly has been Arlington tonight. Blazers are content to kind of hang back here, go with a mid to low possession line. Ball played over the top. Blazers a little bit more keen to that at this point in the match after they got beat by a couple of those early on. Ball does just barely go out. Throw in for Arlington. Players darting in and away. Skip that near line, went across. Ball played long, players in. Looked like he was more concerned with maybe getting some contact than he was truly winning that ball. Pull there by Arlington, acknowledged. Flag is still down. Oh, there it goes. So again, the way the new offside rule states is that player can be in an offside position but does not get called for offside until they affect play. So sometimes it seems like it's late, but it's because that player is not truly affected play. They don't have to necessarily touch the ball, but affect play, which can be so many different things. And in that case, they waited until the ball got clearly to the defender, because if that forward runs away from the ball last second, a forward that was in an offside position swoops in, that's a legal play.
Okay, that's really good insight to hear from an actual referee, honestly, because that was one thing I was also thinking about in the last couple games I've seen. It's like, oh, if it is offsides, why aren't they calling it immediately? And now that does make sense.
So if you find yourself in that situation, Josh, and you know you were in the offside position, peel back, allow someone else to come running on. Oftentimes the defense will kind of freeze because they know you were offside. Mm-hmm. We saw a championship goal in the Copa Cup this summer. Ball was played to a player in an offside position. He backed away from it. Player from an onside position made a fantastic diagonal run. Got a touch, buried it in the corner to win the Summer Copa Silver Series with a goal in the 93rd minute. Pretty exciting finish we saw this summer. All right, our center backs knocking it around. Back to Mert, trying to draw some pressure. Blazers moving the line up a little bit. Here it comes, trying to force pressure. Mert plays a nice ball through. Well possessed. The Blazers, they're starting to sow their oats a little bit here and feel things a little bit more and put a little bit more pressure. Maybe a little bit too much respect that they showed Arlington early on. Blazers looking for that first shot on goal. This might be just poked away at the last second. Now Arlington's in the attack just that fast. Has one player making a run diagonal. Great fight down here. So the ref is calling back the initial foul. He said that he had awarded an advantage, so then he can bring it back. Really pretty close there. A lot of banging back and forth from both sides. Ball's played in. Keeper calls it well, secures it, gets it out quickly. The refs do have that option. They can allow an advantage, and if the advantage does not formulate, they can call it back, and that's exactly what he did in that scenario. Ball's played all the way back to Mert. Blazers taking that low line about 30 yards from goal. A little bit harder pressure there. Arlington deflects it back. That one a little scarier, a little bit more into trouble than some of them have been. Defenders charging through. Arguably some high kicks, and oh, great pace we have here. Keeper again coming out. We asked the question how the keeper would show himself tonight for the Blazers. After some early attacks, and the goal was certainly not anything I think you could attribute to him. He's shown well with a couple great tackles here in this game, Josh.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you have to show the presence of your box and let the opposition know.
Yeah, we're up here in the top row of the bleachers, and we clearly heard that it was his ball. As a keeper coach for young keepers, you teach them you've got to be in charge, and you're calling off your own players, you're calling off the other players, you're even at times alerting the referee that you're there and you have it, so if anything happens, that call is more than likely to go in your favor. Blazers don this left flank, try to play in the middle. That was a little bit of a wanting ball. It was a sea of about 4 white jerseys. Wow, that ball didn't quite realize there was somebody right behind them. Oh, excellent ball play through. Flag now comes up. It's hard to say whether the forward heard the whistle or saw the flag, but he did miss wide. Either way, every forward in the world would tell you that that's because they knew it was offside and they relaxed, right, Josh?
Absolutely. But I mean, like you were saying earlier, a game that absolutely in the standings and in the ending of the season does not matter for this Blazers side, and they're fighting. They're definitely giving it all they can against a side that is many places above them in the table.
Yeah, and folks, you know, look at that scoreboard. This may feel like this is a big Arlington lead. It is only 1-0. Arlington's had a couple other chances, but not a plethora of chances. Certainly the lion's share, I love your word there, Josh, of possession, but not so many chances. But it feels like it's a game where Arlington is far more in the lead.
I know one thing I hear regularly is, you know, obviously defending is more tiring than attacking, and Arlington are going to hope to break down this Blazers side a little more so as time goes on if they keep the lion's share possession like we're saying. But I mean, yeah, 1-0, as long as it stays that way, Blazers absolutely still have a chance.
Anything can happen for sure. You'd mentioned the idea of a set piece or one break. On a cold night, keepers sometimes have a hard time hanging on the balls. So Arlington, you definitely want to get that second one on the board. And if you're Blazers, you're looking whatever you can do to tie this up and then go from there. But more importantly, at least as importantly for now, is keep at least the 1-goal lead, not surrender that, and then look for your chance. You know, the phrase is so often used, chasing the game, when you're both behind in the score as well as behind in possession, and that's where the Blazers find themselves. And there truly is nothing more exhausting in the game of soccer than Arlington scored in the first 5 minutes. An 85-minute chase is a long time.
Mm-hmm. Even just mentally draining to think about that. Like you're so upped for the match, you're getting mentally prepared, and to get scored on so quickly, you know, you have to mentally shift from that and put yourself in the mindset of like, okay, now we do have to chase the game, but you know, obviously not chase it too hard because, like you said, 85 minutes of running. You know, you don't want to tire those legs out too quickly.
And as we look at the Blazers bench, we only see one body, and we're not sure whether that's a player or a second coach or an injured player. So not a whole lot of extra legs over there. We do see a second one now in the background. But that means for Blazers, at the minimum, 9 of these 11 are running for 90. And Arlington's a team that's known to be able to sub deep, and each sub coming in has been a starter somewhere else. So they don't lose a whole lot when they sub in. I mentioned their goalkeeper sitting on the bench. There's a gentleman with possible pro tryouts coming. That's not a bad situation for Coach Phil when you've got quality subs coming off the bench.
And I think just working under Coach Phil and having to train in this way and play in this way so frequently, your body is much more used to having to run so much and having to be much more energetic in this way that they play and how hard they press. So even if they didn't have as many subs and as deep as a bench, like you say, you know, I feel like they're just a little more used to this style of play.
Yeah, I agree with you. Coach Phil is known as a player's coach. Guys seem to love him, but he certainly has high standards, and they know that he is not going to be happy with anything less than an all-out effort. And as we say that, players come pushing back from the offensive side to win the ball defensively, which is certainly a trademark of German teams. And this German coach has a team that often looks like his German national team. A little bit of a flick. Arlington asking for dangerous play. Foul here is on Arlington. Center back had come already all the way up, was trying to win it. Grabbed an arm or two on the way through. Blazers will play this. And you see the difference here, even as they play this ball to the back, Josh, every run is contested by Arlington. Nobody's getting a free run or a free pass. Mert will control it, brings pressure. Blazers try to push him one way. Since that ball was not played intentionally back to him from a teammate, Mert was able to pick that up, which he would not be able to do in this scenario. Blazers pressuring, continuing to pressure from the left side, trying to force him one way. Coaches often teach the idea of making the opposition play predictable, keep forcing them into the way so the rest of your team knows where they're going. But Arlington breaking through, and they're almost on cue. That fifth pass played diagonal. Blazers, as they have after about the 6 or 7 minute, stepping up and intercepting those passes after the first couple getting through. Arlington steps through. We see another Arlington player hitting the turf. Play continues. Beautiful ball across. Forward can't quite keep it. Now he gets control of it, gets it in. Looking for some quick movements. Ball played across, a little bit of a dangerous area. Blazers make a nice steal. Arlington does win it back. Looking for a long shot. Referee there almost got an assist. Allows it to play through since it did go to an Arlington player. Oh, we have a late offside call. I was going to say we have almost the exact same goal.
You got the replay of that.
Yeah, let's take a look at that.
I think he is a step too soon. Let me play that again.
That's what it looks like. Again, that flag isn't supposed to go up until the player in the offside position affected play. And you can always argue scoring a goal is affected play.
Absolutely.
But almost the same goal we saw. Down the right flank, across. Oh! Fantastic shot. Ball's flicked back in. Keeper's able to make a couple nice saves on that. It looked like we were going to see that same ball played across, but instead of slotting one through, number 2 here for Arlington took a rip at it. Ball was absolutely earmarked for the top 90-degree corner, the top 90 as they call it in the goal. Keeper made a nice save. Ball stayed in, got flicked in. Folks, we had mentioned to you some issues with the goal. Going to be really hard to see from way up here. But the front of that goal is approximately 2 yards into the field of play. The goals that Annandale High School would use have a slot cut out of the back of them that fits around the goalpost and secures to keep them from tipping. A safety hazard. Unfortunately, close to a dozen youth players a year lose their life to goals falling on them, so U.S. Soccer has cracked down. But those goals are not available for these players tonight, so they grabbed the other goals that were here at the field, and they do not fit around the post. So that goal is about 2 yards out from the goal. The officials decided before the game that they were going to go with it and allow it. Both coaches wanted to play. So the ball can legitimately hit the inside of the post and not be at the line or across the line. So be interesting to see.
Well, I'll definitely say one thing. We are not VAR, and we cannot give any ruling if we get some inside of the post action that doesn't clearly go in.
It is simply for your entertainment. The gentlemen in blue are not coming up to ask us to determine a goal or not. In NFL terms, we are not New York. It's about the third knock that Arlington defender took. Boot was a little high. Referee calmly and casually warns the forward there for the Blazers. And the trademark long ball over the top, brought in, fought for. Blazers able to keep possession for the moment. Flicks it out, off an Arlington player. Back to Blazers. Oh, nice little shift. Lean and push, they call that move. Player is through, and the flag here does go up. We will show you that replay as well.
I think I was a little late on that one. Yeah, just right after the offsides.
Now, folks, just so you know, you always have the option at home of looking at any replay. Just simply swipe your hand on the time bar underneath and go back and take a look. What a great option. Sometimes I wish I could do that on my NFL games and my beloved Steelers. They don't show me the replay that I'm looking for. But you have the option, folks, of doing it at home. We also ask that you subscribe and like the broadcast and the DMV Sports Media channel. If you do that, then anytime you go into YouTube, you will have the option of it coming up. Make it nice and easy for you. As you see, there are more and more broadcasts all the time coming from DMV. Arlington plays it across. Chance for a shot. Nice block. Tried to tack down the right flank again. Goes for naught. But the ball was played across. Arlington's able to maintain possession. Great lesson for you youth players out there. Instead of forcing it, play it back, bring it back, maintain possession, reset. Again, in a game that you're dominating but only up 1-0, you don't want to give away a bad ball that leads the other team to an odd number attack. Arlington doing a good job here, getting a little scary. As we say that, there's a giveaway. Now it's dribbling 1 into 5, able to maintain it. A couple more Blazer players getting in the attack. Oh, gets it there at the top of the 18. They get a shot. Looks like it took a deflection. Mert gets his first save of the night. Hits a nice ball, little high, little long. Out of bounds. Blazers will get the throw. Folks, we do not have the exact time. We believe that it's about 3 or 4 minutes further into the game than where we're at. We're waiting to see what the officials can signal for extra time. So there's probably 2 or 3 minutes plus any stoppage time remaining in this half. If there's a goal either way, that's going to be 2 minutes that will determine the rest of our night. As of now, it looks like both teams are pretty content to try to knock it around a little bit, take a couple chances, possibly lose it, but nothing too deep in their end. Arlington does win this deep. Nice little bit of skill. Ball goes out for a Blazers throw. Ball headed out. Turn off the sound for a second. Saw the corner come across there. Goalkeeper Mert was interfered with. Officials have not indicated amount of stoppage time left. Can't be very much. Referee is looking at his watch. Typically a sign that there's a whistle coming here shortly. Ball played across. Kind of banged to keep it from going further into trouble. Possession is lost. The Blazers able to keep that through the midfield, making our referee scramble a little bit. Both teams have been called for offside here 3 or 4 times tonight. Not in agreement with them, but from what we've been able to see so far, officials have done an excellent job. Arlington plays this long and across. If that gets through, it's dangerous. Player does win possession, stay up. Advantage is signaled. Oh, that pass was slotted through, and that was the opportunity. Just a little hard. They just miscommunicated. Passer looked like he wanted him to make a little bit more of a diagonal run. Forward stayed flat, thinking it was going to feet, not to space. And it just went out. Ball played aggressively into the corner, a little bit too far. Played back to the keeper, some pressure. Oh, Arlington gets a foot on it. Not quite. They tried to double team the keeper. Did an excellent job. And there we have the end of the first half. So folks, we're gonna come back with you in a few minutes, but the end of our first half, we do have Arlington 1, Blazers 0. This Blazers team out of the playoff race, short a couple people, a substitute coach in, and they are hanging with the powerful number 2 place in the table, Arlington. So folks, come back and join us in about 9 minutes. Thank you.
All right.
Hey folks, this is Matthew Thomas back with you. Thank you for joining us tonight here at Annandale High School. We've got a really pretty good game. Arlington up 1-0, scored about 4 minutes in. We thought they might run away with it. Blazers came back. Haven't had many chances, only one recorded shot on goal. But they've showed some great fight, some gritty play. Arlington hasn't had many chances. Did score a second goal. It was called offside. Both teams been called offside about 4 or 5 times. So they're getting numbers into the attack just a little too forward. So we really think this next 5 to 10 minutes is going to determine a lot. We've been saying all night, a second goal for Arlington is going to make it really tough for this Blazers team who's been chasing since the 4th minute. But a 1-1 game. Arlington only needs a tie to secure second in the standings for the season to get a bye in the playoffs. The Blazers are out, but they would love nothing more than spoil Arlington's night. So you see behind us that we're getting ready to go. So folks, thanks for joining us and stay with us for the remainder of the night. All right, folks. Josh and I are back with you. We are excited. Arlington has made the switch in goal. Mert has taken a seat. Most likely will be the starter for the first round of the playoffs. In the second round, Arlington hoping to advance to. Austin Geyer is in goal for Arlington. Some of his first minutes of this season. Geyer is a very accomplished keeper in the area. Actually has a tryout coming with the Baltimore Blast this week. So looking to make a good showing for Coach Phil and be ready for the playoffs with whatever may happen. That backup quarterback has to always be ready. A keeper's the same. Oh, fantastic little ball, as Alfred would say, a delicious ball played in. Arlington maintained possession. Bigger defender is able to knock him off. Well defended, not giving in to the pressure or the great footwork. Blazers playing through some possession and then lost. Nice little topspin flick. We have a player for Arlington that went down on that challenge back in the offensive third. Didn't look like it was anything too egregious, but players did collide. Bigger defender stepped in and won the ball on that challenge.
Yeah, hopefully just giving him a second to breathe that off. Hopefully he gets up in a moment here, but yeah, not too crazy the challenge, like you said. Hopefully he gets up in a moment or here.
Looks like he's moving around, trying to stretch it out a little bit. So Arlington does have what looks like 5 or 6 subs there on the bench. We'll see if they go to one. As of now, don't see anybody coming in or anybody warming up. So folks, you see the clock does run. Most of you are familiar. So it goes to added time at the referee's discretion. Certainly if this score remains, Blazers will want this time added back on at the end for the equalizer. If they were get one, by that point they might be happy to call it a 1-1 tie and go home happy. So we'll see what that looks like later in the night. But for now, time is on and running. Arlington still tending to the injured player there. Looks like they have pulled him off a play.
I think they're getting somebody ready on the bench there now.
Yeah, we see a player getting warmed up. A player that went down very gingerly stands up on that ankle. Doesn't look like, right when we said doesn't look like he's going to be able to play. A miraculous healing that soccer players so often have. Also with a nice Geyer with a nice 50-yard ball played to his defender out there, well trapped out of the air. And Arlington, who just makes keeping possession look so easy, plays the long ball, deflected in, played it off his chest, plays their big number 10, looking for the long shot. Oh, just a little wide. Got a lot on that, a lot of what he wanted, just kind of sailed off, sliced a little bit like so many of my drives. But that ball we found, a little different than some of my golf balls. All right, Blazers are going to try to play out of the back. Folks, you can see on the camera there the pressure of Arlington. Every black shirt has a white friend with it. All right, Arlington in the attack from that pressure, looking to knock this across. Defender does get a foot, is able to save it in. And then it deflects out of bounds. So we will have an Arlington corner. Very much in German style. You see the big center defenders coming up. There was World Cups where seemingly Germany never scored with their feet. Every ball was off of a free kick on their head. Knocked the U.S. out in the quarterfinal round several World Cups ago on a header. So they're looking for that same style of play. Ball comes in, driven hard and low into the middle. Blazers defender makes a nice play to get that 30 yards from goal. Our Arlington player that was hurt, miraculously moving and healed and playing well, and a man with just so much skill. Ball is headed, the flag stays down, we have a one-on-one situation, gets around the keeper, and we do have the PK called. So now, what's our card look like? Do we have a card? If we do, which color? Ref does not seem to be reaching. But in a one-on-one breakaway situation, it is the last defender. There is an argument called DOGSO, which is an acronym for denying obvious goal-scoring opportunity. If it is the last or second to last defender and the ref deemed that nobody else was coming behind, by law that has to be a red card. But it looks like they're deeming that the player made the play with other defenders coming in. Ref seems to be going to no card. So we just have the penalty kick. And Josh, they have taken that away in that they call it double jeopardy, and when it is a penalty kick, do not want refs going to the red card any more than absolutely necessary because they feel it's a double punishment.
That's fair, yeah, because let me let the penalty play out here.
Oh, drives it upper left. We have a goal. Player points back at the keeper that almost took him out, and as if to say, I gotcha. Once you finish that thought, Josh, I think you're onto a good idea there.
But like you were saying, yeah, the percentages of scoring penalties are quite high. I don't have an exact number off for me, but like you're saying, it's a double loss there. More than likely having a goal scored on you and getting a player sent off. So I think it is good decision there to give the penalty but not send a man off.
So that same foul that happens outside the box is now to much more often to be a red card than the one that happens inside the box, or not called boxes anymore, called penalty areas, inside the penalty area, that would result in both a penalty as well as the card. So now they want it just to be the penalty. I think our official handled that. You see a calm manner. This is a gentleman that has done some high-level matches. He is not in any way over his head or feeling pressured by these gentlemen out here. He's handling it well, moving well side to side to get close to play, get that view that referees so need. So we have a second goal for Arlington. That is a goal in the first 5 minutes of both halves. Nothing in between as of now. But Arlington got that second goal, and this is the chasing that we were talking about. And it just so wears on you physically. Josh made a great point earlier. Wears on you mentally and emotionally when you just feel like you're down. And again, Blazers has not really had a legitimate shot on goal. Merck did not have to make a tough save in the first half. Austin Geyer has not seen a shot at all here in the second half. Arlington with a nice little flick over the top. Looking for that cross, sends it just a little bit behind his forward, who went in a little bit deeper than he thought. And now we see prototypical Arlington, that they are pressuring hard and trying to trap Blazers in deep. So we have our first sub of the night. And the player that just showed so much speed and skill for Arlington is out, and more speed and skill is coming on. If you play Arlington, you feel like it's the clown car where one skilled player after another keeps getting out, and right when you think it's got to be empty, Coach Phil finds somebody else on the bench to bring in that can do damage.
I think as well as obviously great tactical nous, having very good talent ID from Coach Phillip.
Yeah, and what you find is the better your team does, the more that good players want to come and play for you.
Yep.
We have a nice hard challenge there, deemed as legal. Play flicked in. Oh, nice little touch forward, just a little hard, a little heavy. Got away from him just a little bit, but boy, I like the idea. Took the touch diagonal, beat the defender with that touch past him, but unfortunately it went all the way to the keeper.
Yeah, a lot of defenders don't expect you to take that big heavy touch to immediately beat them off that first touch. So definitely good idea there, but just not the output he wanted.
Yeah, no, I love it. I agree with you. As a defender, you see that ball coming in and your feet get set for him to collect it and make a move. And if that touch is going so often before you can unset your feet. All right, we see if ball chipped in. Geyer's able to get a good one-handed punch. Exactly what we teach young keepers, if you're going to punch it out sideways, get it with one hand, get it all the way outside the box, in this case out of play. Then they force Blazers into loss of possession, and Arlington has the ball back and into possession just like that. Tight little space here, see what we could do. He's able to flick it. There you see some of the futsal skill that these Arlington players have, and so many of them do play high-level futsal. Look for a little no-look pass, possibly a foul. Advantage was played, not drawn back, so Arlington into the attack, gives away the pass. All right, Arlington with the throw here. Plays it in, plays it across. Looking for that attack down the right flank that we have just seen so many times. Is he able to beat his defender and get that cross again, or is he looking to bring it back? Oh, brings this one back a little high. Boy, I like that idea. It was a different look. Coaches will tell you they don't want to see the same play again and again and again. So they looked like they were going to drive it, draw it back in, a play that some teams refer to as USA, because something that the United States men's team has done so well for so many years. But they chose instead to play a negative ball at the top of the box. And it's a shot that I think he would want back. I think he had more space there, Josh, than he thought he had.
But like you're saying, not doing the same thing over and over again, even if it is working to a certain degree, I think unpredictability is a very good asset to have in the attacking third.
So often attacking soccer is like boxing and MMA, in that if you know what punch is coming, you can usually block it or have it miss. But if it's a multiple style of attack, then it is much harder to defend, and you find the exact same thing.
Absolutely.
All right, Blazers called for a foul there. Arlington player was spinning. Blazers player made a nice step in, did get ball, but if you get ball and then get player, that is absolutely a foul, even though every player in the world will say, I got ball first, ref.
Yeah, it's about that follow-through.
It's about the follow-through. Getting the ball is not a license to do whatever you want to do after. But it's the same argument players had in the 50s that they have today, and my experience is it's not changing anytime soon. All right, I believe we're going to reset back at this throw for Blazers. Not sure what our situation was. Looked like we did change balls there in the process. Oh, ball played through. Keeper for Blazers gets out, plays that well, solid, is won by Arlington. But any coach would tell you they'd rather the ball be won for possession at the 50 than way back inside the penalty area. All right, Giuseppe here attacking for Arlington. Quick feet. Some excellent team defending by Blazers. Oh, nice little flick touch to the outside. Blazers chance to attack down the left flank. Sends it over to the right flank. We have a one-on-one situation, looking for possibly a long shot. That'd be a heck of a shot at this point. We'd be looking at about 40 yards from goal. Flicked across. Geyer comes out. Is able to make the save, collect it off the player's foot. Arlington players signaling for offside. AR2 Tim on this side says no thank you. Allowed the play to continue. Geyer's throw down the left flank. Gets back to Arlington possession. Just lost there. Blazers in the attack, and then here we go again. Back to Arlington, back to Blazers. Folks, you see the great attack and defense both teams are playing. Blazers keeper comes out. This time puts it right on his man, 50 yards out. Really an excellent, excellent ball. You might be able to tell a little bit of a keeper bias in this particular announcer. Loves keepers and keepers training, and loves to see that position played so well at any level.
I think that was one of your examples there of he didn't necessarily touch the ball there, but the offsides man did interfere with play.
Yeah, it doesn't take much. You can obstruct the vision of a defensive player as a goalie. You could take one with you on a run. There's lots of things you can do to affect play. And once play has been affected by the player in the offside position, then they are deemed offside and the call needs to come. Arlington players yelling to play simple, look for those short passes, keep the possession. We have great instance of that. Nice little 1-2 diagonal pass going through. Oh, what a beautiful idea. But again, love how the defender read that, stepped up, kicked himself that he gave it away after, but he saw it coming and was only about half a step ahead of the Arlington player, who would have had it at the top of the area going forward. With several other players in the penalty area, would have been dangerous. So the push was called on Arlington deep in their offensive territory. Blazers play this ball out, sent well into the night, over the fence, through the bleachers, down past the second fence, into the parking lot. I think it is now in the chemistry lab.
Could learn something.
Arlington looking to bang it around, back to their coveted right flank where so much of their attack has come from tonight. Back to our rinse and repeat center defenders here. Head up, playing. Oh, we've got some space in the midfield now. You see a little bit more of a patient Arlington team. We'd mentioned early on it seemed to be 4 passes and attack. There it was more about 8 or 9. Still went for the attack. Maybe a little bit more aggressively than they liked. I don't know that it was really there. What I've really liked that we've seen tonight, Josh, is excellent team defending by Blazers. So many players have stepped up well, but the 1, 2, 3-man defending, pressure, cover balance as they call it, really has looked good from the Blazers team tonight.
I mean, that's one thing they really need. Like you're saying, don't have many players on the bench. They have to work as a unit. They have to really work together, and keeping that back line communicating and all on the same page is a very good key. Albeit down 2-0, but it could be several more, like we've said before.
And team defending is so much less exhausting than individual defending. That second player comes over behind, so often collects it like a center fielder or a free safety in football, not having to make a hard run as a cornerback would have to with the player. It's a much easier way to collect it. I've been real impressed with the team defending that we've seen from this Blazers team. And again, Bruce is a substitute coach stepping in for him tonight. Bruce owns his own program, own team, LAI. So certainly knows what he's doing, the high-level player himself. And it's hard to say how much of tonight's influence is just the little he's been able to add in a short time. Have to believe this is what coach has been doing with them all season, and certainly like it. So here we are, back in the Arlington attack. Blazers step up, able to relieve the pressure. All right, Arlington playing it around. Out to the flank, out to Giuseppe, a little bit over the top of him. Arlington in possession, in no hurry. Oh, nice little pick and flick as he picked it up, flicked it across. Blazers again headed out well defensively. The ball back to Geyer in the back. Arlington much less of a hurry, up 2-0 here. Geyer looks to play a ball long, puts it right on his man, about 55 yards out. Arlington keeps possession. Still low on numbers. They were 3 versus 5. Ball plays through, flag stays down, into the attack, plays it across. Oh, Blazers defender just gets a foot on it. There were several Arlington players in the attack there. All right, so back to our right flank. Ball played across. Did try something different, as we had talked about, but maybe rushed a little bit. Had a little bit of time there. Wasn't able to get a good solid strike. And now we have a nice ball played across. A little bit too much air under it. Intercepted. Arlington defender says, I don't get to this end of the field very often. I'm going to see what I can make. Puts it in. Ball deflected off Blazers defender. They would have headed back safely to his goalkeeper, which is allowed. You cannot play with anything below your body intentionally back to your keeper, but anything from the waist above is legal. Oh, we have a nice little flick by Blazers forwards, but Arlington defender comes back. They play the ball back to Geyer. Nice little chip in the midfield, finds his midfielder. Looks like we have an advantage being played. The ref is signaling and he's watching the player that got struck, but play will continue. Arlington banging around. You hear Geyer calling for it. They do play back to him, much as they used Mert in the first half. Back out. Midfielders coming back. They're going to go back and across, look for opportunities. Geyer does have a giveaway this time. Arlington pressuring it though, as they have all night. Blazers surviving that pressure, playing it through. Slots it in. Arlington defender flicks it back to Geyer. Chooses to bang this one out. Finds his forward at midfield. Looked like he was bounced. Just didn't quite get it. And then we have a pull. We probably have our first booking of the night. And what used to be called a tactical foul, that term does not exist anymore in the referee world. So what they refer to that now is a SPA, an SPA, which is the acronym for stopping a promising attack. So anytime a defender purposely commits a foul to slow them down. Oh, we have a play, we have a goal. Oh, that was pretty. Folks, we're gonna show you that replay. Here you see this ball flicked in over top. Takes one bounce, and then a second flick by the forward just over the keeper's head. Slotted beautifully into the corner. And Arlington takes the field goal lead, up 3-0. About 23 minutes, right about the halfway point of the second half.
Yeah, definitely felt a little too easy there, but 2-0 down with roughly over 35 minutes left when that goal went in. You know, it's understandable. Your head dropping, your concentration dropping a little bit, but that one just felt a little too easy for me.
Yeah, that's the phrase you hear from coaches so often, is just too easy, too easy. You teach players, goalies in particular, make them do something great to beat you, and if they do, that phrase we always used was shake their hand and buy them a Coke. These players would probably prefer a Guinness, but the idea is if they do something great, you can acknowledge that, but don't allow something that is really pretty simple for players at this level. So Arlington back in the attack, looking for a fourth. Now they're really feeling it. Plays it through. Looks like we're going to go back out to the right flank. We have a hard challenge. So we're going to be about 25 yards out from goal, about 20 yards off the center line. The Blazers making their first sub of the night. Again, we believe they only have one or two to make, so at the most there is one left. Coach Bruce shakes his hand for a night well played and a great effort by their tall forward.
I could be mistaken. I believe that's Jeremy Goshu, of actually who does play for Bruce in the VSSL.
Certainly seem to know him. Oh, ball slotted in! Oh, what a fantastic opportunity, fantastic play. First touch off of the free kick, and it hits the bottom part of the post. Now we have a breakaway. We have another post, but all for naught. Flag went up there. But in a matter of less than 60 seconds, Arlington kissed both posts there. Arlington asking for a handball there, but simply because the ball rolls up a player's arm anymore, U.S. Soccer and FIFA say that does not need to be called handling, which I love some of those changes they made. A handball should be something that's very secure and truly obvious, not just an incidental flick against the player's arm. Blazers showing a little bit of skill getting it out, and as we say that, ball's lost. Oh, excellent piece of skill. Josh, it looks like he faked inside, beat him outside, had him, and then tried to bring it back inside. I think if he had went with the initial fake, sometimes players fake themselves out.
You think you have to do a little more than you actually have to do there. You know, he definitely had the shot opportunity there, but I understand, you know, wanting to be a little more sure, thinking you need to get a little more open, but he did absolutely do his man there.
Oh, we have an excellent cross as we say that. Arlington had a man flying in for the header, and Blazers defender again stepped up and made a nice play. All right, we have a little confrontation here. Those of you that were with us for the last Arlington game saw a bunch of craziness at the end. Josh and I are the only two in the bleachers, and neither one of us have any intention of flicking over the post. But I would like to think, Josh, at 55, that I could land a little bit more solid than that gentleman did last week.
I mean, it was, you know, no smut on the man, because I know I'm no fighter either, but, you know, yeah, you definitely don't want to do those things when the cameras are around.
Those that weren't with us, he did flick up over the bleachers trying to charge a player down on the field, and somehow got a little tangled and landed. I will say he landed on his head and his back on the hard track, and yet popped up to keep fighting.
Got right up.
So I would like to think I would land more securely, but I guarantee you that if I landed on the head and back, the fight would be over.
I'm gonna pack it in there, yeah. You know.
We would call it a night and go get some ice and some ibuprofen. All right, Arlington with a free kick chance here from about 35 yards out. Tries to catch the keeper sleeping and almost manages. I thought for sure he was going to try to play that ball into an oncoming forward on the diagonal run. Instead, he went for it. It looked like he almost beat the keeper. Keeper played it pretty well, was with it. But boy, if that ball comes down under the post, it'd be interesting to see if the keeper had a hand or not. All right. So Arlington makes another sub, gets another big central defender into the game. They seem to make them in a factory there in Arlington. This is a skilled player, played for several years with Alexandria's youth program and in the ASA Reds. And now he's here with Arlington. Blazers will play this out of the back. High pressure by Arlington, which we have said repeatedly tonight. Blazers a little bit more keen to it though. Getting it out, and now they're into the attack, looking for their own diagonal ball. Deflection goes off of Arlington. Blazers here with the throw. Blazers knocking it around. Blazers down 3, but not showing it and certainly staying in the fight here. They play all the way back to Geyer. Chooses the bang one long. Does find his player just over the head, deflected by Blazers defender, but back to Arlington. This ball seems to have a magnet, Josh, and just keep going back to Arlington. Anytime the Blazers get a head or a chest on it, so much pressure, and when you are pressing forward, so often that ball is bouncing back to you.
I think they at times they know where to be, they know how to react, they know how many steps they can take off of a man, and like you're saying, it just feels like it's a magnet right back to him. But I think it's again back to Coach Phillips' tactical now. It's just setting these players up in the correct positions.
It is certainly a well-balanced and well-thought-out, orchestrated, pressured attack. It is not just 10 guys going the direction they want to go. Oh, fantastic run through, slotted. Blazers keeper makes a nice foot save there. Defenders are able to get it out. Let's see if they can maintain that. So far they're able to, down the right flank, looking to play a ball in the middle. Just intercepted at the last minute. Arlington midfielder coming back. And then you blink and Arlington back into the attack. So they're looking for opportunities here. We got a little cute with that flick, I think. A little bit more than he probably wanted. Was able to maintain it. Our magnet coming back to play. Back to Arlington. Ball deflects out. And making us look like geniuses, Josh. It's Arlington's ball after it seemingly hit about 4 bodies on the way out.
You know, I hope they could keep a little more of that up, making us look like geniuses.
Well, that takes a lot, and I understand if they're not able to do that. I'll take the one moment. It's the most I ask for these days. You, on the other hand, I think you have your share of moments. Arlington back in possession, playing it out here in the flank. Able to bring down a pretty nice ball that was hit with some touch and some backspin. Playing it back through their center backs. We've talked about so many times tonight. Flicked on through. Flag stays down. Blazers defender. Oh, nice little move to kind of hold it when Arlington player stuck out his foot and lunged at it. And then once he had to regain his balance, played it through. But here we are, back to Arlington, back into the attack. From the left flank, back to the middle to the right flank, beating down the right flank again tonight. Oh, what a fantastic. Thought for sure he was looking for another penalty and was going to take one. Blazers defender able to slide and get that tackle. Ball played back to Geyer. Banged that one, maybe a little aggressively there, went for it. Almost found the Arlington forward in a one-on-one situation. And then we're going to have a little bit of a push and trip. Player gives the ref a high five to say, I think you might have got that one right, sir. Nice little touch of sportsmanship there from the Arlington players. Blazers in the attack looking. And everywhere they look, Josh, they keep seeing a white shirt with their black shirts. Found a little bit of space here. Player open on the flank. About the most space they've had on this flank all night. Plays it across. Oh! Boy, again, to you young players, the Arlington defense gave about 3 yards more space on this right flank than they'd given all night. Still 40 yards from goal. But because of that space, the forward was able to get his head up, bang a ball across. The Blazers forward looked like he had the Arlington defender beat by a step. And just that extra 2 yards of space given here, 30, 40 yards out from goal, almost surrendered the first goal of the night for Arlington. As defensive players, you want to keep that pressure on, and no matter what the score is or what point in the game, not relent. A little bit of relent there almost came back to haunt Arlington.
Absolutely, and I don't think there's been many occasions this night where Coach Phillip would be unhappy with the positioning of his players, and I think that'll be one moment there where he's definitely gonna show that back to the players after this match, and because that's not acceptable. They have that amount of space that could easily be 3-1, like you were saying.
Here's Arlington playing through, flicks it across. Is he able to get it? Oh, keeper comes out and does a nice job. Boy, this keeper's really put kind of his nose and his life on the line tonight, repeatedly, and in most cases come out ahead in these challenges. Arlington tries to flick, actually flicks into his own player instead of flicking in the space. But our magnet comes back. Arlington plays it through. The head, oh, just wide. Oh, what a fantastic series of events. Just flicked out. You hear Arlington defenders and keeper yelling, we don't let up, we don't take our foot off the gas, understanding that has been a little bit of a lull here for them in the last couple minutes. Ball flicked back. Defender plays back to Geyer. Again, opts to bang that long. Giuseppe not able to maintain possession of that. Blazers into attack. Long shot hit, takes a deflection. Easily goes back to Geyer. Geyer does the very traditional goalie flop and lay on the ball when they have the lead. for no purpose other than waste a few seconds and possibly garner the attention of any attractive females in the area. Bypass the back line, playing it all the way back to Geyer. Gets it out to the defender. Has an option down this left flank, chooses not to use it, plays it back diagonally negative. Arlington maintaining possession. Almost looking like a foosball game here, folks. You got your defenders on a cord or on a rod in the back, straight across, playing the ball. They get it back to Geyer, finds his midfielder, able to make a nice little turn. Well played. That was the case if he loses that. There was 3 black shirts around, but winning it, plays it through. Flag stays down, all the way back to the keeper, quickly gets it up to his center defender, and Blazers looking for their chance for the attack. Got some speed, got a player through the middle. We have a one-on-one, goes for a long shot, trying to beat Geyer over the top. I think he has a chance there, Josh. If he can get that on goal, probably needs a little bit more air under it, but not a lot. You want that ball to be hit just like he hit it with the backspin, which pulls it down and keeps it from floating too far. But Geyer wasn't too far off his line, and really a pretty agile keeper. Could have been an interesting flight there if that ball was on frame, to see what our keeper could have done with that.
Absolutely. Like you're saying, it's going to take a much more concerted strike to score from there, about 35, 40 yards out.
Forward went down. Defender is laying down with them. A little bit of calling, and that's going to be flag up there. We're going to show you the replay, and the reason we're showing you this replay is to show you that even when it is clearly an obvious offside by close to 10 yards, players still like to argue. I don't think he was on his own side, Josh. Was he clearly over midfield in your view there?
I'd have to get a good second look at it, but I definitely trust these officials having a better vantage point than me up here for sure.
Yeah, I think they've had a pretty good night. The only thing that saves the Arlington forward there is if you're on your own half of the field when the ball is struck, even if you're in what is deemed an offside position, you're not considered offside because you started in your own half at the strike of the ball. But he was a good 5-6 yards over, I believe, and good 4 or 5 yards past. Ball is played here in the Blazers. Possession's maintained, a little bit of space. They're able to get that cross off. Unfortunately, I think he put it a little lower, put it right on the ground, a little bit easier to be deflected out by the Arlington defenders. Had he gotten a little bit of air under it, I think he might have had a better chance to get through to his player. So Arlington playing it around the back. They will go back to Geyer here. He will use his left foot, tries to get up in the middle. Just missed his midfielder on that pass, who did signal as if it was his fault. Geyer, I'm sure, would have liked to have found him on that. We have the official calling for a trainer. Blazers defender here seems to have taken a shot to the head, possibly an errant elbow or forearm. Referee right away stopped play and signaled for the trainer to come on. Chances are we have some blood. As a referee, once you see blood, you have to stop play and have that player removed until that can be taken care of. Many teams will carry what they call a blood jersey, meaning that once a player gets some blood on the shirt, they will switch to a cleaner shirt. And even when rostering is strict with numbering, you can put that player in a new number, just state what his old number was and play, but much safer these days than playing in a shirt with blood stains on it.
Absolutely.
Nice little bit of possession and turn here by Arlington. Folks, we've got about 5 minutes to go. Arlington back in the attack, looking for that ball into space that we've seen so far tonight. That was going to be a tight window. forward was pointing for it, but there wasn't a lot of room for that to get in between the defender and the keeper.
Yeah, he had to get that perfect, which definitely understandable that that ball didn't make it where it wanted to be, but Arlington on the attack once again.
Yeah, Blazers now with a little bit of possession, trying to knock it around. Plays a very aggressive, kind of hopeful ball. Pretty ball, struck about 60 yards on a line, never more than about 5 feet in the air, but just not able to connect. Goes out of bounds. Arlington back in possession here, knocking it around. Arlington defenders with so many touches on the ball tonight, with time and space, and so often connecting those passes. That one's connected and then just kind of stumbled over it. Arlington's looking to get back in the attack. They had lost it for a moment. Regain it back. Ball played back. Reset to our center defender. We're out to the left flank. Knocked back to our defender. Little tic-tac-toe passing going on here. Ball played through, lost. But Blazers won it, but weren't able to maintain possession, knocked it out. Throw goes backwards. Josh, some teams are tracking now which players and which positions have the most touches in the course of a game. I think without a doubt, Arlington center defenders probably have more touches than the rest of the players combined, other than maybe one or two central midfielders that we see here. Plays a long ball. That would have been a heck of a ball if that had been able to connect. Nice little fight through the midfield here. Arlington looking for a ball in the coveted right flank. Find it again. No overlapping run this time. Player was kind of trapped there against the sideline. Was able to keep it for an Arlington throw-in. Oh, nice little reverse turn. Flicks it in the middle. Blazers able to win that ball, maintain possession. Arlington just continuing to pressure and pressure. They are definitely the soccer version of a little schnauzer that just stays at your heels all night. Blazers breaking through, flag stays down. Players trying to get this possibly for a left-footed shot. Dragging it across. Goes right to another forward. And the ref says, no, sir, we play on. Blazers throw back to the keeper. Folks, we are in the 89th minute, but we've had 3 goals this half, and we've had a couple injuries, the one prolonged, so we'll see what the ref adds. Our experience has been at this level that typically the refs will add less time in a 3 or 4 goal lead than they were if it was a 1-0 game. So we will see. We'll see if the refs give us a signal or any indication of how much time. But until then, we play on. Nice ball played across. Deflected out by the Blazers, but still in possession for Arlington. Our great AR2 in the side, Tim L, indicates that there will be 2 minutes of added time. We thank our officiating crew for letting us know. Arlington will receive their first booking of the night. Excuse me, that went to the Blazers defender. Arlington will have the free kick here from the side. See the AR taking a little initiative there that they're encouraged to do. Those of you that follow this game for a long time know the guy with the flag used to be called a linesman. He is now an AR, which is assistant referee, because they're given a little bit more authority to help out. Ball played in, slotted in by Arlington to the back post. Goes across. We have a throw. AR indicates that this throw will be for the Blazers. But the ARs now are allotted a little bit more responsibility and in freedom than the old linesmen were. Blazers trying to keep this ball in possession, are able to. Tight spaces here. Thought that ball might have deflected off the Blazers. Refs say no. Goes for their throw. They're pushing through the middle. We have a foul. Oh, nice ball slotted in. Player there's been looking to get that ball on his left foot for the last few minutes here. Thought he might try to take a shot. A little aggressive from about 35 yards out, but they haven't had many opportunities. Again, neither Arlington keeper really has been forced to make a great save. Both have played a few balls, won a couple balls off the feet of oncoming forwards, but neither has really been forced to make what we would call a plus save, an above average save tonight. We only have one recorded shot for the Blazers at this point on goal. Arlington wins it. Looks for a little flick forward. Blazers are able to just play that back, keep possession. Keeper plays that up, finds a nice ball to his outside midfielder. AR says that did cross the line first. Our angle here, hard to see the line, shielded by the top of the two different fence posts. Played back to the Blazers keeper. Again, chipped into the midfield. Ball was won by the Arlington defender, and the ref says that the Blazers defender went into his chest going after it. It's a big center defender. That's the gentleman that subbed in for Arlington. Again, center defender factory they seem to have going here at the moment, Josh. One after another.
They're all good with the ball somehow.
And folks, there you go. Our score will end the night. Arlington SA 3, Blazers FC 0. That will end the Blazer season, but I have to believe that they feel like that really was not a bad way to end it. They gave a heck of a fight, had some opportunities. Arlington will go into the playoffs now in the number 2 slot behind DC Hyper, who they had an incredible hyper match with red cards and bodies and anger and even some spit flying. So should that match come back, we will have that for you here on DMV Sports Media, and it's one you don't want to miss. But before we get there, Virginia Dream is alive. I believe they will end up in the 3 spot, depending how other games came out tonight. So they will be alive. Arlington United, after just missing out in the playoffs last year, are back in the mix. Virginia Revolution is in the mix, so it should be interesting. 4 teams will play, and Arlington and Hyper will be waiting for the winner of that first set of matches. And then potentially a great match involving one of those 2 teams, or perhaps Virginia Dream in the final. So folks, stay tuned. Some great matches as well. Some VSSL action and MSSL action coming your way on DMV Sports Media. This is Matthew Thomas and Josh saying thank you for joining us on a little bit of a brisk but beautiful night here in Annandale High School. Come back and join us soon. Here.